Hello friends, so today in this video we're going to discuss the first three problems from the latest Lead Code bi-weekly contest 57. So let's start. The first problem is very simple. It states that check if all the characters have equal number of occurrences. So you have given a string consisting of different characters and you just have to check that whether all the characters have equal frequency. So what you can do here is first easily find out the frequency of every character, and because you want to check that every frequency which is present is same, what you can do easily here is like there can be multiple methods, but I like push all the numbers or like the frequency of every character into a set, and because there should be only one possible frequency, then the size of the set should be equal to 1. Okay, and if that's it, like it is true, then the answer is like true. So that's what I've done. First find out the frequency of every character in that whole string, then make a set and insert all the non-zero frequencies, because they can be also zero frequencies, but you should not send that into the set. Okay, and then just insert all the greater than zero non-zero frequencies of all the characters into the set B, and just in the end check that whether the size of B should be equal to 1, because in set there should only exist a number of type 1, and because if all the frequencies are same, then obviously if you send all of the frequencies into a set, the resultant size of the set should be equal to 1, because in the end there should be only one number in the set, because the set will hold only unique integers. I hope you get the point. So that's the solution for the first problem. The second problem is, the second and third problems are good. You have to just understand like they both are greedy, but you have to understand how to get to the intuition part. So the first problem, like this, the problem statement is, so what you can easily understand that there are a lot of seeds. Okay, they are given infinite seeds, but don't go to an infinite number, because there are seeds from 0 till n minus 1. Okay, and because n is up to like 10 to the power 4, so just easily understand that there are seeds from 0 to 10 to the power 4. Okay, then what you can easily say is like friends are coming to some sort of a party, and now whenever a person enters a party, he will take the smallest like integer chair which is present at that moment. Okay, so there are different chairs and every chair is labeled, like the first chair is like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. And whenever a person enters a party, he will choose the smallest id or like the smallest integer chair which is present at the moment. So you are actually given a zeroth index 2D array which actually tell you the arrival time and leaving time for every person which is coming to the party. So the person can, like, it arrives at certain point and end it exits the party at certain point. It was also given that the arrival times are distant, not the leaving time. Now what you actually have to find out here is find out the chair edge with this target friend. So you are also given a target friend which is like the first friend. So this is also the zeroth indexing. So as you can see, like this is the first friend which is entering at the second point or like at the second time instance. So you have to just tell that at which point or like at which chair this particular friend will sit, like on which chair. So you just have to tell the ID of that or like the number on that chair. So I hope you get the point. So now what you can easily understand in this problem is, if you just get the brief idea. Okay, sorry, yeah, so like this is a number line, and some friend will come at this point and leave the party at this point, then some might come at this point and leave the party at this point, and so on. So they are like, these are different sets, and some might come at this point and leave the party at this point. So they are different like sections, and now maybe you come at this point, like this point of time. Now what is the particular seat which is like present for you? So maybe this friend is entered, so this seat is actually like this is the first seat this friend will get, so 0th seat will be occupied. Now this friend will enter, so he will get a second seat. Now this friend will enter, so he will get the third seat, like second ID seat. Now he will exit, so he will get the, like this seat will become free. Now he will also exit, so like 0th ID is also free. So now as you can see, now I entered, so because this like there is 0th ID also free, and like 0th number seat is also free, and 2 number also seat is free. First number seat is occupied, so which like seat I will obviously take? I will take the 0th like number seat. So I will take the 0th ID or the number seat, and that's that. I hope you get the point. So now what you can easily understand from this here is like you have to switch, or you have to find out the seat locations for every point of this segment. Okay, so like at every point of the segment you have to check that like there is something happening at every point of this segment. So there are going to be 2 points. What you can do is, in such type of problems, what you can do, because you are iterating over every segment point, you can make an array. You can make another array, so for which such that this is the starting point, mark it as 1, or like you can mark the starting point as a positive number and the ending point as the same number with a negative value, and then sort them out so that, and if you sort them out, then you will eventually get a number line like this, in which what I mean by this is, let's assume, because you do not know at which point some one will leave or some will come, so I only have to matter the number or the people who come before me. Whatever happens after my occurrence, I do not care, because I will take the seat at this point. Whatever happened after that, I do not care. Okay, I just hope, like, I only care about the people which come and goes before me. Okay, and then what is the seat which is available at this point. So it is obvious that we have to sort it out. Now if you have to sort it out, we have to know that what is the occurrence and like the going period for every person. Now what you can easily do in this problem is, like, you can sort it out and find it out in this manner. Or what you can also do here is, so for every person, like, let's assume I used a priority queue. So priority queue is very beneficial in this case, because see, I have to actually get which person is available at that point, like at a particular time which seat is present. So in that case, in that particular scenario, you have to like somehow get the smallest seat which is possibly available at that time. Now you can also use set or a priority queue, because if you use a set or priority queue, the numbers are already sorted out. So if you just take out the first element in a priority queue or in a set, it is the smallest number possible in the whole set. And because the seats are distinguished, like the seat has different numbers, what you can do is, initially you can push all the numbers into the set, which is like 0 till 1000, because there are possible 1000 seats available. And then, because the set will make all the numbers in an increasing order or like in a sorted order, just take out the first element, and that's the first seat which is available to you, which is the smallest ID. I hope you get the point, because see, if there are 1000 seats and the set will make them into a increasing order, then what you can easily do is just pop out the first element. So in that case, now what is my way, I will tell you in the code part, that will make it more clear. So as you can see, we first, and also as you can see, we are also like sorting this whole thing out, and thus we will lose touch of the order, because I want the first friend. But if we sort them out according to the entry time or the exit times, then this will get vanished out. So what you can do here is, first also mark it out my target friend. So what you can do, because this is the first person, this is the second person, what I did here is, like, I again push back, I'll iterate over the whole friends like this times array or like vector, and then push back another I back of it. So now it becomes like this, every like time interval also has an ID which is attached to it after this operation, which will actually store the integer or the ID of every friend which is coming at that point, so that I can easily sort them out. Now I am sorting it out. After sorting it out, it is sorted according to the arrival time, because I only care about the people who arrives before me, because those will only occupy the seats. Okay, now this is the priority queue. This is how we initialize the priority queue. Okay, now what you can see here is, now I have also a set which I have told you. Now because set will actually hold all the seats, okay, in an increasing order. Now what we'll do here is, we'll insert all the elements or all the seats actually into the set, which is like the 1000 seats. Now I will iterate over all the possible intervals I have in the n. Now what I'm actually doing here is, see, the priority or like the priority queue also stores in increasing or decreasing order, in an increasing fashion, and the set also store in increasing fashion. We want these two data structure. Why? Because what you can simply see in this example is, let's assume that I am the first friend which enters the party. Now assume that there's a priority queue, but just imagine that there is some priority queue. Okay, just don't think about it, but like what is the function, but think there is a priority queue. Now I enter a party. Now I enter a party, there is no available. Just check that whether there is something in the priority queue. No. Okay, so I'm the first person, because there is no one. Priority queue stores whoever is there in the party. Okay, so because there is no one, because I'm the first person who is entering the party, the arrival time is the first. I'm the first arrival. So there is no person. So what we'll do? We'll take out the first possible seat which is available. From where I can get the seat available? From the set. So just go to this point. See, I am taking out the first element from the set and erasing out, because I'm taking out that seat, erase that from the set. And now because this is the person I am in the party, so I will push. So see, the priority queue holds what person is leaving the like whoever is leaving the party. So as you can see, I will push back my exit time because now I am entered the party. I have to also care about who has exit. So I will exit from the party at this point, and I will also mark out. See, what I'm marking out, what is the seat I have occupied. So I have two fields. The first field is at which time I will leave, and what is the seat which is preoccupied by me. Okay, now what you can see here is whenever now I go to the second person. Now when I go to the second person, like the next timestamp, I have to check that whoever has left the party, because before I will get the new seat, I will check that okay, I have also a priority queue which stores whoever has the time to leave. Okay, because that stores the time to leave. So what we'll do, we'll iterate over the priority queue and check that I entered this time, whether the priority queue has all the elements which are sorted in the order of their exit time. So I will check that whether the persons in the priority queue are they leaving at this point, at the point I am coming. So if they are, then what we'll do, we'll pop out from the priority queue, like pop out that element from the priority queue and insert that seat back into the set, because that seat will get free the moment I will enter. So as you can see, and that's how we're gonna pop it out from the priority queue and insert that x is the seed because you've inserted back into the set. So what we're actually doing here is, in the simple term here is, if any persons enter the party, before entering that party we'll check in the priority queue where whoever are there in the priority queue. Okay, because priority queue stores the exit time for every person who are in the party. Okay, and like now I enter the party, I have to check that whoever is going to leave before me or like at my moment, because then only I will know that which is the smallest integer which is free. So I will go over the priority queue and remove out all the elements who have, like, who want to leave or who are actually left out. Then, and also because the leaving, I have to free those spaces and the seats, and seats are stored into the second variable, so we will push those seats back into the set. And because like we will do the same now, because now I am entering the party, the smallest seat I will get is the starting of the set, because set will store them into an increasing order. So I will get that, and I will terminate my process the point I will hit a friend which is like I'm looking for, and the ID which I'm looking for is just like the third variable which I've stored, which is pushed here. So if that times equal to the target friend I'm looking for, that's the seat I will get, because the starting element of the set is the seat I will get. So that's the seat I will get, and we will just like return out at this point. I hope you get the point of this problem. You can look into the code. I will put the code link into the description. So if you have any doubts, you can check it out. So the third problem is almost the same. Okay, you have to look into the same problem in the previous way only. So now what you can see in this problem is there is a number line, and you are actually painting out a number line. Now you have different type of colors. Now what you can see in this manner here is like I paint a section from 1 till 4 in a color 5. I paint a section of from 4 to 7 in the color 7, and a section from 1 till 7 with the color of 9. Now what you can see here is now there are overlapping colors like this. Like this is an overlapping, this is an overlapping. So now the problem is asking you to divide this whole problem again. So you are given some segments and you have to form new segments such that those segments should be non-overlapping. Now how you can find out? So as you can see, if I divide this at this point, now that and this and this will become non-overlapping. Okay, so if I have one section like this, one section like this, one section like this, these are the three segments. But if I make new segments, which is like from this to this and from this to this, this will not, like, these are two different segments. I hope you get the point. But now making these two new segments, this segment should become one, this segment will become one. Now as you can see, this is the color I will put on this segment, and because these two segments are like overlapping, this color will merge, and the new color at this point will be the summation of both of these colors. So as you can see, then now the new segment will be from 1 till 4, and the color at this point will be 14, the summation of this. And also there is a segment from this to this, the color of this will be 16. So you have to like divide it out. But now I also initially thought of this problem using prefix sums, because like you have to because it is like summationing, like you are doing summing. And also what you can see here is like we are giving ranges, so I thought of prefix sums initially, but that's not the case, because see, when you go to the third problem you will understand. both. So as you can see, this the summation of this 5 and 7 is also 12, and 1 and 11 is also 12, and both, if you like do this prefix sums, like this whole number from 1 till 7 will come out to be 12. Okay, and then you will always because you're doing a prefix sum, this whole come out to be 12, and then you mark it out as a whole segment, like a complete segment. But that is not, because they have marked it out as different segments. Why? Because see, this is a different segment. The problem is, like, the mixing, as you can see, this is like a mixing of 5 and 9. So this is a new color, okay, and this is mixing of 5 and 7, this is another color, and 1 and 11 is another color. Okay, though the summation turns out to be the same, but it is, the problem is telling you that we don't care about the summation, we care about that what is the color we are mixing. If the colors we are mixing are same, so if 5 and 7 is mixing here, maybe somewhere another 5 and 7 are mixing here, then also it turns out to be 12 only. But they should be continuous. So it means that we only care about the colors which are forming, like, even if they are going to give a same summation value, we don't care about that. We only care about that they should be continuous. Okay, so now also, as you can see, now the problem is also like the same problem in the previous example. We only talk about so if we just mark out, like, there is a like coloring from this to this point, there's a coloring from this to this point, and this to this point is a coloring, and this point is a coloring. Now what you can see in this problem is, so according to the problem, even if the summation becomes same, we have to mark it out in a non-overlapping manner. So this will form 1, this will form 1, okay, then this will form 1, this will form 1, sorry, this will form 1. So as you can see, I am forming out segments between every point, which is, so I am forming out segments from the starting. So this is some starting and this is some ending. This is another starting, this is like another like starting, this is like another ending. So it means that these are the critical points. So between every critical point, or like ending or starting point, there is a segment. So we have to find out the start and the end. The start, like, we have to find out all the starts and all the ends. And between every like critical points, if you tell them that these are the points of the starting or ending or like critical points, then for every pair of critical points there is a like a null overlapping part. But let's assume that there are the if this is the number line, let's assume that this is the number line. Okay, and the intervals are like this. This is one interval, the another interval is like this, the other interval are like this. They both like all intervals are going from the same starting and the same ending point. Then we have to mark them into the same interval, like we have to mark them as the same because they should, like, they all form a non-overlapping, like we have to take this as a whole. Okay, so now what you can easily do here is, you have to first find out all the critical points and sort them out, because, and then after sorting them out, we just talk about every pair of critical elements. The other element should be greater than that. So if 2 points start at the same point, so after sorting them out, maybe this is the first critical point, this is the second critical point, because they are on the same point, then this is the third critical point. We only talk about critical points which are like this, the next critical point is greater than that. If they lie on the same line, then we will like count them into the same point, same total value. So that's what we are gonna do here. What you can see here is, we will first make a vector of like vector of A and push back these values. So we are given the critical points here is the starting point and the ending point. The starting point is marked by 1, the ending point is marked by -1. Okay, so the starting point and ending point, and we also send the value, the coloring I will do at that point. Okay, so I am actually sending out the starting and the ending point. We'll mark it as different values, and the starting is like marked by a 1 and the ending is marked by a -1, and we'll also send out the value for all these like segments in this vector, and then like sending out and inserting out all these tuplets and then sorting them out, obviously. Then answer is toward the final answer. Remember to make them long. So my continuous stretch will first take out the first critical point. I will take the first critical point, the starting value. The total will be the total of those values I will be talking about. So the total here is the first critical point total value. Then we'll iterate from the first point, because we have taken the 0th point. And then, as I've told you, if all the points start at the same point, we don't talk about that. So I will only go to this if condition if the next point, so if the ith point is greater than the previous point. If it is not, we will only add the total at that point. I hope you get the point. So if there are multiple segments starting at the same point, okay, so because if we take this segment and make the vector which I have made, all of them are the same starting point, so all of them will be first side by side. So we will just add the value for this. So maybe the value for this segment is 5, 6 and 7. So we'll only add these values because the final segment we have will be the summation of all of these numbers. So we will only add them out. So we will only add. So my adding is this a of 0 I, this ith first value and the second value, because we are adding it them out. Okay, after adding them out, now when I go, I've taken all the next like 3 points, then I go to the next point and this next point is greater than that, then only my next if condition will go into play, and also my total will be greater than 0, because it can happen that my segments can be like this, one segment can be like this, one segment can be like this. So if I talk about this, I will take one segment like this, and I can also take this as a segment, but this is not, because this is not a segment. Why? Because my total is not, like total is 0. I'm not taking this as a segment. I will take this as a segment, but this is not as a segment. So I will also take care that total should be greater than 0. Then only I should take between the two critical points. Okay, because these are two critical points, and I will also take that as a segment. But that's not, because the total at that point will become 0. Okay, so that's what we want to see. The total greater than 0. What we'll do? We'll push back both of these critical points are my segment and the total at that point. Okay. And now what I will see here is, at any point what will happen, at the critical point, at the starting point, I will increase my total, and at the ending point I will decrease, because I am multiplying with this value. So I am multiplying this and the value. So at the starting point this will increase my total, and at the ending point this is negative, so it will decrease my total. And that's how we're going to build the total value. If we go out of bound for some like segment, that value will be subtracted out from the total, and that will not matter in the later half. I hope you get the point of this problem. If you have any doubts, you can mention down. I will see you next one. Keep coding, and bye.